What's going on, Lego Maniacs? It's Ty, the Lego guy here, and today we're taking a look at one of my all-time favorite Lego Star Wars sets. It's the 4483 AT-AT. It had 1,064 pieces, 4 minifigs, retailed for 100 US, and it came out in 2003. Now nowadays, this set's going for 414 new or 220 used, and there's reasons why it's appreciated so much. This is actually my 3-year anniversary. This was the very first set that I ever reviewed, and I thought I'd return on it just because I can do a better job at it nowadays. And this set's been getting a lot of flack lately. A lot of people think it's terrible. I'm going to give you guys my personal thoughts and why I actually really like this set, but we're gonna take a look at its positives and its negatives. But enough talk, let's get right into it. And to start us off, we'll begin by giving you guys a 360 view of this behemoth. This is actually over a foot in height, well over a foot in height, or about 1/3 of a meter if you guys use the metric system. This was actually one of the largest Lego Star Wars sets when it did come out back in 2003, and I absolutely loved it as a kid. It's just so clumpy and big, and it just looks the way you'd want an AT-AT to look, but we're going to get into it a little bit more detailed by checking it out area by area. And the very first area that we'll actually take a look at is the AT-AT legs. Now, what I absolutely love about these legs is how strong and sturdy they are. This set I've played with so much growing up as a kid, and the legs are still stiff. Like, they're not wobbling anywhere. You can kind of pose them any way you'd like. That's the first thing that I really, well, appreciate about them. These will fall off, but that's kind of true of any AT-AT. The other thing is, notice the joints to the legs. If you actually look at the movie footage, it's much larger here than it is in the middle, which makes sense. I mean, as the leg progresses upwards, it gets larger. This version of the AT-AT does that, whereas if you look at even the newest one, the 2021, it actually has small joints on the top as well as in the mid area of the legs. So this one just overall just looks much more accurate if we're talking legs, and how posable, how much you can move them without the basically AT-AT doing the splits. You can pose these any way you want and it's not going to fall. Whereas with the 2021, you can't do that. I'm not saying this is better than the 2020, but I am saying that it is better in that respect. Let's now actually move to the main body of the AT-AT. And how you access the interior is actually quite simple. You just literally raise this plate to reveal one side of the AT-AT. You can slide out these little chairs, and it seats a snowtrooper. My one complaint, or one of my few complaints with this set, is it should have included 4, just because you only have 2, which is kind of unfortunate. And if you actually get to the back, you actually can open this up. Now this is where it gets kind of fragile. See how that piece just broke off? It is a little fragile in here. But there is a snow speeder in the back right here. As you can see, it's a little fragile. That little piece just fell off. So this is not perfect by any means. I'm not saying that, but it is pretty good. So here's the speeder bike. It's not a snow speeder, but it is a speeder that's used in the snow. So it is somewhat accurate. It's just not the snow speeder that we kind of think of. And then if we move to the other side of the AT-AT, same thing. It has another door you can just very easily open, and there is another snow trooper. You can very easily just close it up like so. These plates, again, are not perfect though, but they're definitely not terrible. They're just, I think the newer ones definitely have improved on it a little bit. Let's now actually move to probably the biggest problem with this set, being the head. And here she is. So I'm going to say look-wise, this is phenomenal. Check out the visor to this AT-AT. It's not squinting at you like some of the other AT-ATs that came out after this one in the future, let's say. This one has a printed piece and I just think it looks amazing. The blasters as well are also quite nice looking, quite accurate to what we see from the movie. There are some gaps, however, with this head, which is not so great. But again, I still think that this looks really, really good, very accurate. Where this set starts to kind of fall off is this head. Now, if you look right here, like back here, I should say, the neck is where the set starts to fall off. It is basically just connected by that Technic pin, which makes it very fragile and very easy to knock off. Like if you just look at it the wrong way, it will fall off. That's the one complaint. The other complaint is a little bit more minor. If we open her up like so, we can see the cockpit, and it's not terrible in here. However, I hate it when Lego, back in the day, they used to kind of use blue pieces, red pieces wherever they felt they could, and they did that. I'm not sure if they had an excess of pieces or whatever, but you can see blue here, red here. That is not at all accurate. If we also take a look a little bit closer, it has a nice little control panel. However, it only seats one minifigure. So the newer ones, especially the 2020, you can seat 3. That's amazing. This makes me actually want to mod this one because I do believe you could actually mod it to maybe at least seat 2. However, I do think that the interior to the newer ones is better. This is definitely lacking, and it has some very odd color choices. However, if we're just going from an aesthetic point of view, it does look quite good. If you close her up, it's just if you open up the AT-AT cockpit, it is a little lacking. Let's now take a look at the minifigures. And here we have 3 of the 4 minifigures that are included. So you actually get 2 of the snowtroopers, and they are identical. So we won't be showing the other one just because you're getting it with this one. Then you also have the AT-AT pilot. I almost want to call him driver. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Should it be pilot or driver? And then we have Luke Skywalker on the far right. He's carrying that awesome looking chrome lightsaber. Absolutely love these ones. The bad thing about them though, and I actually want to demonstrate this just a little bit, is you can see it's fading a little bit, and when it fades, it got this awful looking green look to it. Whereas if it actually stays, nice and chrome, without it fading, it looks like so. So I just wanted to mention that if you played with it a bunch, these chrome hilts would basically fade. They'd chip, unfortunately. The AT-AT driver, he's actually unique to this set. They didn't include him in any other one. There's a look of his face. It's just yellow, and then if you take off the snowtrooper's helmet, it just reveals a blank black face. You guys a 360 view of them though. They don't have any back face printing, back torso printing. Well, actually, I lied. The AT-AT driver actually does. He's the only one that does. Back in the early 2000s, they started to very slowly introduce it into the different, themes, Star Wars, some others. Absolutely love this snowtrooper. I actually own a number of them from the Snowtrooper Battle Pack back in 2010, I want to say. Overall, good selection of minifigures. The AT-AT driver is definitely the best out of them. He's more detailed than all of them. And what's funny is I didn't realize that he had back torso printing till now. So it's funny, you can still learn something after you've owned a set for almost 20 years. Let's now get into the end of the review and get my final thoughts. Well guys, that was my review. Do hope you enjoyed it. As you guys probably have seen, this set is not perfect. Structurally, this head falls off way too easy. Besides that, however, this looks clumpy. This looks the way we want it to look, especially if you're comparing it against the movie footage or movie pics and whatnot. This AT-AT looks the way it should. And another point a lot of people don't forget about this set is it's rated 14 and up. That's much like a UCS set. The 18 up, or some of the other bigger scale models, 16 up, like the Death Star 2 from 2004. This set falls into that same category. It's not really a play set. It's kind of more so like a UCS set. And that's part of the reason why, yes, it is not perfectly structurally sound. It's not the best play scale set, but if you have a set like this that you just want to stick on a shelf, it is one of the best looking AT-ATs by far. If you're looking for more of a play scale model, yeah, you could maybe go with the 2020 or the 2014, one of those. I will say that the legs are actually very sturdy. They're much more stiff and easier to pose than say the 2020 model, because I do find that one, its legs give out a lot. But personally, I really like this set. And again, as an adult collector, for me, it's more so about displayability and accuracy as opposed to playability. If you're looking for a playability, you know, with this set, maybe look elsewhere. But if you're looking for probably one of the best AT-ATs, at least display-wise, go with this one. But yeah, that pretty well does my review. Let me know what you guys think though. If you like this set, if you don't, any areas you think they could maybe improve on it. I just absolutely love this AT-AT, and I had to look at it, you know, taking nostalgia aside, and even so, it's a great looking model. But again, let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this one. I know it's been receiving a lot of flack. But anyways, that pretty well does the video. But if you liked it, leave it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, definitely consider subscribing and click that bell so you're notified for any future LEGO Star Wars reviews, comparisons. We do it all on this channel and they come out every Tuesday. But yeah, that's all I got for you again. But thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.